qualifying is about to start here at the Autodromo di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. The teams are about to head out onto the track any minute now. I'm expecting a good showing from Ferrari at their home race this weekend. They've had a lot of success here over the years, and though they haven't won a race here since Fernando Alonso in 2010, you can never say never.
The fans here are amazing and always provide a lift to the Ferrari team, so I'm expecting them to be right in the mix come today's qualifying session.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to F1 2015 Button Bounces back. I think this is episode number 12 we're on to today, and today we are racing round the famous Italian track of Monza. Before we get into today's video, sort of F1 gameplay wise, I would just like to say a massive, in fact a huge thank you, bigger than massive, a huge thank you for the support and all the nice comments on the 250 subscriber special, the room tour / setup video that I did the other day. Everyone's supportive comments were absolutely amazing. It means the world to me when I see that you're all really enjoying the content that I put out there and all that kind of stuff, so thank you so much for that. But going into the gameplay that you see, we get so lucky there not to get corner cutting. I do not know how that isn't corner cutting, but onto the track, Monza. It's another track that doesn't really suit the McLaren because of the high speed nature of the circuit. There's 3 I would class big straights. This is the first one, not including the start finish straight. You've got this one here, which is the DRS zone. You've got the one just after this little complex of corners, and that follows through Parabolica into the home straight. So that's sort of 3 massive straights. But we get corner cutting that time. I don't know how that's more corner cutting than the one that we didn't get corner cutting for, but we seem to just about get away with it. So yeah, it's the last. We're doing really well overall. We're just over halfway through the championship. We're in 8th place at the moment, but we haven't had a standout result for quite a few races now. We've had a couple of incidents in the last couple of races as well that really bogged us down, and Monza wasn't the track that I really thought would get us back into the groove, if you know what I mean. And you can see, somehow we qualify in 5th place, which is an absolutely awesome result for McLaren. Just behind the Mercedes, who are locking up the front 2, of course, and then the 2 Ferraris as well. But Monza, being the fast track that it is, I didn't expect to be one that could bounce back on. But after we've got 5th place in qualifying, as you've just seen, I was really optimistic. We'll hand over to the commentator now, paint the picture of the race day, then we'll talk a little bit more.
The time has come for the drivers to put all they've learned this weekend into reality. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix. We knew this was a track that suited the Mercedes well, but no one would have expected that Lewis Hamilton would have created such a gap to his rivals in qualifying. If he stays out of trouble and the car continues to perform, well, victory should surely be a formality.
You can never be sure if qualifying pace will turn into race performance. It often depends on how focused the car setup was for a single lap on new tyres. But even if he's slightly slower than those around him, he'll be trying to make his car as wide as possible on track to defend his position.
It was a good win last time out for Lewis Hamilton, who will still be feeling buoyant going into today's race. He knows he's got the beating of the rest of the field as long as he doesn't hit any reliability issues with his Mercedes.
Well, Lewis can beat anyone on his day. His pace has been second to none at times. He just has a knack of finding those extra tenths which others can't. I'm expecting him to be particularly strong at the end of the stints today.
So everybody, here we are at the grid, ready for lights out on race day at Monza, and what an absolutely awesome start we appear to get. We absolutely reeling Raikkonen, a much better start than him. I was hoping just to hold on to 5th place because of the nature of the track and how fast it was, but then we get absolutely swamped by Massa and Bottas. I think Raikkonen gets knocked by Massa into me. It's a chain of reaction. I then go into Bottas. Absolutely huge incident. We somehow come out of it in 3rd place, and I am thinking at this point, this could be our lucky day. You sort of got Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg leading the way, and I was never really going to keep up with them anyway, but to come out into 3rd place, and the car behind me being Massa, a car that we have beaten and a driver that we have beaten on previous races, we knew that if we could hold him off, we could be in for another podium finish. It would be our 2nd of the campaign, and it would be an absolutely incredible result, particularly when you bear in mind the track that we're on. But this is all very early on in the race, still a hell of a long way to go, and as always I'll be showing you the first lap. So we're just coming down the first DRS zone now, go back turn into the quick left, right and left again. I'm not sure what this complex of corners is called, but this is one that I seem to be able to take much better than the computer 9 times out of 10. Also, I have to come onto the 2nd straight of the track. Parabolica, the computer seems super slow around. Parabolica's this right-hander that we're about to come into now, really famous corner in F1, but we seem to be able to take it so much quicker than the computer. But as you can see, Hamilton and Rosberg have left me, and then there's another massive gap. Well, not a massive gap. You got massive behind me. Then there's a massive gap to the cars behind him because of that incident in the first corner. And it would appear at the moment that fourth place could potentially be our worst case scenario the way it's panning out. But you can see onto lap 2, Massa's soon caught up to us. Of course, he has got the superior power. I mean, it's like I said, the track with so many strokes. We haven't even got DRS turned on at this point. That's not till lap 3. But when that gets turned on, he'll have even more of an advantage. But you'll see just coming down here how quickly he flies past us. Look at that, no DRS even necessary. Straight past us, makes it look easy. We do try and tuck in behind him. I don't take the corner brilliantly. I turn in a bit too early. But even though I feel like we got the better run out on that corner, it's still an absolutely... It's just, the struggle is real. I actually... If I remember, I'll put it on the screen now. I saw on Twitter today some data showing how much slower the McLaren was than any other car in the F1 grid. This is real life data. This is not related to the game, like real life F1. And it's absolutely crazy on every single track how much slower they are. It's, like I said, it's just absolutely mental. But just coming on to lap 3, DRS has been enabled. I thought, you know what, we might be able to get a crack at Massa going into the first corner if we can just slightly outbrake him, but he'd pulled out too much of a lead. We get right up behind him, but just not close enough to make anything work, not close enough to make a pass, unfortunately. But we're going to skip forward now, all the way to lap 6. Basically, this is the pitting lap. Massa had pulled well ahead now. I say well ahead, he's probably about 2 or 3 seconds ahead. Nasser was slowly catching us up from behind again. He's in the Sabre, I believe, Felipe Nasser. He was catching us up slowly but surely. We come into the pits, and for some reason, I don't really know what happens, but the McLaren boys either pull off a blinding pit stop, or Massa's team, Williams, do an absolutely terrible one, because we come out right behind Felipe Massa, and we seem to get well away from Felipe Nasser. Those names are just way too similar, but you can see Massa has got a little bit of a lead, but we soon catch up to him, because as we all know on this game, when the computer cars are on cold tyres, they're just absolute pussies, and you can just catch up to them so easily. They just don't seem to go balls into you know what I mean, like throw the cars into the corner. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but they're just so negative and tentative on those cold tyres. On those first couple of laps, you're really able to reel them in. And you can see we've got DRS on Massa now, going on to lap 7. Are we on now? I think now lap 8. Sorry, we're on to, and we managed to take him on the inside into that first corner. Really nice outbraking manoeuvre, nice overtaking manoeuvre, and hopefully now we'll be able to make it stick. But the thing is, Massa's got the quicker car still, and there's still 5 laps to go. And there's basically an incredible duel takes place now between me and Felipe Massa over the next 5 laps, where I'm trying to hold him off, he gets in front, he's trying to hold me off, I'll get back in front of him, and it's just absolutely crazy right until the final lap. It's just, like, we always seem to end up in duel scenarios in these races. We always seem to be singled out with another car, whether it be Bottas, whether it be Massa, whether it be Grosjean there, Ricciardo. They're the drivers that we race in, race out. We seem to be battling with one of them. It's sometimes like a 3-way duel, but we always just end up fighting for points with one of those for one position or another. But you can see he's got the DRS on us. There's not a lot we can do. We take the corner so much better. You can see us really actually have to tap the brakes, and then the car does a bit of a squirm because we don't normally have to brake there, and it just threw my line out completely. Massa pulled out a little bit of a lead at this point, and I thought the podium might be gone because his tyres were warmed up as well. But like I said before, Parabolica, I don't know what it is, but we just seem to be able to reel the computer in around that corner. And I haven't actually mentioned it yet, by the way, but if you still are enjoying the series and all that kind of good stuff, it would be awesome if you'd leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. I can't believe I've not said that already. I normally mention that quite early on in the episode, but you've had quite a few new subscribers actually over the last week, so you can see we make a lovely pass. But yeah, we've had quite a few new subscribers this week, so welcome to all you new subscribers. Hope you enjoy the series as well. Like I said, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. But we're actually going to jump forward now to lap 12. As you just saw, we made the passing manoeuvre on Massa. There's a bit of contact there in the first corner. Get ahead of him, and then we managed to hold him off all the way to lap 12. There's a bit of contact there, which was completely Massa's fault in my opinion. I was just holding my line. We pulled out a small lead, but we've got the straights again, haven't we? I mean, we've got this long straight where he catches us up, and then he's probably going to get DRS down this straight as well, and it's going into the final lap. Can we get our second podium of the season? The second podium for Jenson Button in this illustrious campaign of Button bounces back. But you can see he's absolutely gobbling the ground upon us. Not quite enough to be able to make a pass on us, but enough to make it a tense and sweaty last lap for us, keeping the pressure on. And we actually succumb to some of that pressure because we go a bit wide there, and look at that. That one tiny mistake, and Massa's straight up behind us, and you can tell it's the last lap now, can't you? Because all of a sudden It's getting a bit more aggressive. More risks are being taken by Massa and by myself to try and get that podium finish. I go in really well in this corner. Completely outbrake him. Don't cut the corner or anything. And I was so happy at the time with that manoeuvre because it's not an easy place to pass that, isn't it? But we really made that work. Again, we take this corner a little bit wider. The pressure getting to us, and that would allow Massa to be right back up our backside, especially when you bear in mind that you got the DRS zone coming up again now. But they've done half of the last lap. We're currently sitting in a podium place. The two Mercedes are well off in the distance. They're about to cross the line for the checkered flag any second now. It's just whether we can come home with a bronze medal, with the bronze trophy, and some valuable points for the McLaren team and for Jenson Button, because it's been quite some time since we had a result like this. Canada was the last time, but hold the phone. Hamilton's won the race, but Massa takes us over. We're going into Parabolica. I've mentioned before, we seem to be able to always get the run on them down here, and we're going super aggressive. Sort of a bit of contact there, probably too aggressive really in real life terms. You'd probably get a bit of a warning for that, but we take him over nevertheless. Coming to the final straight, and we will take the checkered flag for our second podium of the season. Bronze again, not quite as good as Canada where we got silver if I remember correctly, but Jenson Button finds himself on the podium for the second time this season. Absolutely awesome result. And as you can see, he's up there of course. Jeff's going absolutely fucking mental, loving life 2K15 down there. But Button in third place, Rosberg in second, and of course Hamilton in first. And so difficult to split those two Mercedes, but that race to beat the Ferraris, it beat the Williams. It was an absolutely awesome result. You can see the champagne being sprayed by Hamilton, and it's just, like I said, an amazing result, especially when you consider the track that we were on. We got a little bit of fortune, it must be said, with the first corner incident that happened. That really freed up a lot of room, and also at the end there with that pass, we got kind of lucky to make that stick and not get punished. But you can see, look, third place, Hamilton and Rosberg, not so close. I thought they were really close in the race, 8 seconds between them. But look at the lap times, man. Like Hamilton putting in a 124.4, no one's anywhere near that. You can see Fernando Alonso, as ever, right at the back, pretty much, you know. He just never, he's not even going to point it. I don't even know what to say about him anymore. But driver standings wise, we're still in 8th place. We have put a little bit up to Daniel Ricciardo and pulled a little bit away from Grosjean. And we've also sticking in 5th place with McLaren on the constructors, which is really cool. But if you, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. I will speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Let me know your predictions, by the way, because I'm recording this just before the Belgian Grand Prix in real life. Let me know. In fact, no, it's no good. Let me know. Because this is going to go out Monday and the race will already be done. So I'm going to say Rosberg to beat Hamilton. Even though Hamilton's on pole, I can feel some bants coming in that race. Let me know if you predicted that as well, or, well, like I say, it's pretty pointless now because the race will have been done. But I'm rambling on. I will speak to you all in tomorrow's video now, everybody. Have a good weekend. Need you out.
As well, but we'll come up, and as you may have noticed straight off the bat when I panned around, I freaking love collecting stuff. I don't know why, always have done. We'll start off in this corner over here.